You know, submarines have to be one of the most terrifying and powerful weapons ever created. They're like these ghosts of the deep, right? Capable of launching a devastating surprise attack out of nowhere. But for all that power, they have some pretty serious weaknesses. They put human lives at risk, they demand constant, crazy expensive maintenance, and no matter how quiet they get, they're never truly invisible. So what if you could just erase all those weaknesses? What if you could build a submarine that was completely autonomous, never had to refuel, and could stay hidden on a mission, well, pretty much indefinitely? It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? Well, it's not. It's becoming a reality, and it's happening right now. And this really shows you the kind of leap we're talking about. We're going from these high-risk, high-maintenance vessels to a whole new class of unmanned underwater vehicle, a UUV, that is fully autonomous, totally modular, and is practically a ghost in the water. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a fundamental shift in naval strategy. So what is this thing? It's called the Manta Ray. It's a project from DARPA, you know, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, the people who come up with all the futuristic military tech. And this thing is designed to solve just about every single problem that has plagued submarines for the last 100 years. And to give you a picture in your head, the war zone saw some of the first satellite images of the Manta Ray and said, quote, "It looks like a docked Star Wars ship." And honestly, the comparison is perfect. It looks less like a normal sub and way more like some kind of futuristic spacecraft built for the deepest parts of the ocean. All right, so let's dive in and get a closer look at what makes the Manta Ray so incredibly different. Its design, its core capabilities, it's really unlike anything that has ever come before it. Okay, so just looking at the size, you can start to see its strategic sweet spot. Now, these are just estimates, mind you, but you can see it's way bigger than smaller recon drones like the Remus 600, but it's also more compact than some of the massive UAVs out there, like Boeing's Echo Voyager. This gives it a really unique mix of being able to carry a serious payload while still being agile. But its most game-changing feature, physically, is this. It's modular. It's not built as one giant hull. Instead, it's made in sections. These pieces can be packed into standard shipping containers, sent anywhere in the world by truck, plane, or boat, and then just snapped together on site for super fast deployment. And from a strategic standpoint, this modular design is an absolute game changer. The US can deploy these drones from any of its 750 bases around the globe. Manufacturing gets simpler, and if a part gets damaged, you just swap out the module. And crucially, it's designed from the ground up to carry payloads. And yes, that can mean things like missiles. So a modular design is incredible, for sure, but there are two other breakthroughs that truly make the Manta Ray revolutionary. They solve the two biggest headaches for any submarine: fuel and communication. First up, the huge question of endurance. I mean, how on earth can a drone operate for months, or maybe even years, without coming back to port to refuel? The answer isn't a bigger battery, and it's not some tiny nuclear reactor either. Get this, it literally drinks electricity right out of the ocean. It uses a technology that harnesses the ocean's thermal gradient. Basically, it generates power from the temperature difference between the warm water near the surface and the cold water deep down. Think of it like a heat engine that runs on the ocean's own natural layers. This gives it a limitless, renewable energy source, letting the Manta Rays stay on its mission, well, forever. Okay, so it has infinite power, check. But that just creates a whole new problem, doesn't it? If a submarine never surfaces, it can't exactly raise an antenna to send back all the valuable intel it's gathering. So how does it phone home without blowing its cover? The solution is it's brilliant. They call them data bubbles. So in the future, when the Manta Ray docks at an underwater charging station, it won't just recharge, it'll offload all its data. Then the station releases these tiny disposable transmitters. They float up to the surface and beam the info to a satellite. The Manta Ray itself, it stays deep, silent, and completely hidden. And this comparison just shows you what a massive strategic shift this is. The old system relies on a handful of massive, really vulnerable antenna sites. If you destroy them, you basically blind the entire submarine fleet. But the data bubble system, it has no single point of failure, it's decentralized, it's stealthy, and it is incredibly resilient. So let's put all the pieces together. We have a modular, self-powering, stealth comm drone. What does this actually mean in the real world? Well, it means the fundamental rules of naval warfare, especially in critical hotspots like the Indo-Pacific, are about to be completely rewritten. To understand why, you just have to look at the numbers. China has been on a massive submarine building spree, and they're aiming to outnumber the US fleet. By 2025, they're on track to have a pretty significant edge in sheer numbers. On paper, that looks like a huge problem for the US Navy. But quantity isn't everything, and this quote really captures the situation perfectly. While China is pouring billions into building more traditional submarines, the US has made a technological leap that could make that entire fleet obsolete. It's like America isn't just adding more pieces to the board, it's changing the game itself. Let's break down why. China's anti-sub strategy depends on things like patrol planes looking for subs that surface, or heat signatures from their engines. Well, the Manta Ray does neither. Their magnetic and sound detectors, they're designed to find giant, noisy metal submarines. The Manta Ray is a ghost. It's electric, it's quiet, and it can operate at depths that traditional subs just can't touch. So, where does this revolutionary project stand today? This isn't just a blueprint on a computer screen, not anymore. The Manta Ray is very, very real. But there are still a few crucial steps before it's fully operational. And development is moving fast. After it was first spotted back in 2021, the full-scale prototype just completed successful in-water tests in early 2024. DARPA has officially confirmed that its core systems, the hydrodynamics, the propulsion, the controls, they all work just as designed. The vehicle is ready to move toward real-world operation. Now, there are still some big challenges. Those underwater charging stations, they're still in the concept phase. Engineers have to solve the problem of saltwater corrosion over the long term. And the AI needs to be perfected so it can navigate complex underwater terrain all by itself for years at a time. But these are engineering problems, and engineering problems tend to get solved. What's really crucial to understand here is that we are watching the birth of a technology that could make the massive, crude submarine a relic of the past, a future where the oceans are patrolled by swarms of autonomous, invisible drones. Well, that future might be a lot closer than any of us think.